What is up, guys? It is Simba here and welcome back to another team racing video on F124, and today we make a return to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix here in AEC. The last time I've done a race around Monza was a good number of months ago, back in the first season of WR, but we come back to Monza after this time last season. We didn't do the race on Monza. We had a disconnect right before the race started and we never got back in the lobby. So we're going to see what we can do around one of the oldest racing circuits on the calendar, and one that a lot of people enjoy, but on the game it's a different story. It's a bit of an up and down one for ourselves, as most corners around here are pretty RNG. But if you're looking forward to this one, make sure you hit the like button and get subscribed for more team racing content. It's going to be team racing content all the way through to F125, as WR is basically done for us, as we didn't get an invite to the new season. So team racing content it is, and you can see by the title it's going to be a good one. But we start off with the one and only qualifying lap in this session. I wasn't feeling too great in practice. I was struggling to get the lap together, but just before we joined the lobby we did a really good lap of an 18.3. So we're going to see what we can do in this one lap as we head towards the 100 meter board, where you hit the brakes down to third, cut the inside curve a little bit, and that helps you through turn 2, and you slam the throttle down the minute you get out of the corner. Use a bit of overtake on the exit on towards the Curva Grande of turn number 3, and now you want to just spot the meter boards on the right hand side for the second chicane of turns 4 and 5. This is where it's pretty RNG. You can cut that first part of the chicane, but we do it pretty decently, and we managed to get through pretty cleanly as we set up for Lesmo 1, as we do pretty well there, keeping it nice and tight to the apex. Lesmo 2, again, pretty solid minimum speed and a good decent exit as well, as we open the DRS once again towards the Ascari chicane, where you hold your breath and you try and send it, and this is where the time is won and lost. Down to 5th, absolutely chucking it through the left and the right and then left again, and you can see that we've done a pretty solid job of it, as it's really easy to invalidate, as Agonized sets the pace with an 18.2 as a pretty solid banker from himself as we come through into the famous Parabolica, and we come up towards the line now where are we going to fit in the hat here? It's been a pretty solid lap, and up to the line we go. It's P1 on an 18.5. We've actually taken pole position.
Nice one.
But sadly, it's not a one-shot quali. There's still 14 minutes to go, and we don't improve on that banker lap, so we're going to have to settle for P5. And it is a little bit disappointing because we both could have done better. Agonized PB was a 0.2. Mine was a very low 3. So we could have really put ourselves in the top 4 if we got the lap together. But that wasn't quite the case here. You can see Tom Roberts and TTM Plaque, class of the field, the only 2 people in the 0.1s, and they put a tenth and a half ahead of the next car, Vosku, in P3. So it's going to be P5 and P8 as a team. Pretty solid position with Agonized, and we're going to go straight into the race where we're going to be trying on the medium tyres, and we're going to switch to the hards early on in the race compared to most people around us. So let's see how this goes as we are getting ready for 5 red lights here, and our return to Monza. It's the Italian Grand Prix in AEC, and what can we do from 5th on the grid? We're going to find out as the lights go out, and we are on the way for the Italian Grand Prix, and the second phase is pretty strong as we get alongside the Haas of Alpha Kevin on the hard compound tyres. It would be crucial to get past him through the first chicane. It's pretty early on the brakes from us, as Oscar brakes pretty early as the top 2 go side by side. We get away past Alpha Kevin. Agonized jumps up 2 places from 8th on the grid to P6, so we've both got a pretty clean start off the line. Alpha Kevin looking to challenges on the inside going into the second chicane. Again, we're forced to brake a bit early because Oscar in front of us, taking things cautiously, understandably, as he doesn't want to lose any track position, especially running in 3rd place. There's yellow flags at the back involving the Mercedes, but it's a clean start from both of us, and you can see Agonized up into 5th place now in this race. So we are in a very, very good position here, and we are a few of, I believe, 6 people won the medium tyres at the start of the race. So we could definitely work with Oscar, Agonized as well, to try and get past the 2 hard runners in front of us of Roberts and Plaque. So a pretty decent start to the race, but this is where everything changes. Ollie Hornby's out of the race, and we've got a safety car right at the end of lap 1.
Yes.
And watch this.
Yes.
Slow down, your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace.
Box.
Yeah.
Alright then.
Don't cut the pit lines.
No, we didn't. I don't think so. I don't think so. I hope not.
You sure this is the move?
Yeah.
And as you can see, myself, Agonised, and a few other cars, including Kieran Nag, have pitted under the safety car for hard compound tyres. And in the background, you can hear me and Agonised both confused about this. We're both unsure about it because we're basically sacrificing the track position we both gained on the first lap.
So we're trying to get this.
And the idea behind this is to get to the end of the race on this set of hard tyres.
VUM a few months ago?
So it's going to be an interesting race here, but this is really what changes everything. But before we get to the end result, we've got this safety car restart to deal with. We're 15th and 16th. The idea is to get to the end, no more pit stops, and we're one of the only few to do it. So it's going to have to be a matter of carving through the field, but managing the tyres as well to make sure we get to the end of lap 27. But you can see the restart isn't great. We get completely caught napping there by VK20 or Ched just in front of us, and that means Agonised is under pressure from FG Callum, the only remaining FG driver in this race, as we cover the middle of the track, so we make sure that Callum doesn't try and overtake two Williams cars. He gets past Agonised, and we're looking to try and pick off some moves. And now, obviously with the safety car restart, people are going to be pretty opportunistic and pretty eager to make moves and to gain early track position. But we just need to make sure that we pick off our moves properly. We do have a history of doing that pretty well on this channel, where if there's opportunities in front of us, we are not afraid to take them. And that's exactly what we're going to have to do here. As through Lesmo 1, you can see we just catch up with VK20. And through Lesmo 2 is a decent exit as well. There's a car going off in the just in front of us there. But I think they've managed to rejoin the track properly, as we use the bit of the overtake to basically tell Callum to piss off. Because I don't want to be behind him, as DRS is enabled. So now that means with the field bunched up like this, things can happen. As you can see, there's a ghosted Alpine. There's a Haas that's gone well out of shape. Out of turn 2, it's Harrison. And we breeze right past him. And we're up into P14. So we're in the points paying positions. As in AEC, the top 14 score points. But there's a lot more carnage in front of us going into the second chicane. It looks like Flames are going to get past VK20. And we just avoid him.
What is going on here, man?
Our train split after P10.
Now that's not ideal. We've lost the place to Callum, and Harvey's just said that the train is split from P10. And at this point I'm pretty pissed off, because in order for this strategy to be really potent, we need the train to stick together, because everyone in front of us has got to make a pit stop, except us. But so now we've got to try and make some progress again as we go down the inside of Callum into turns 1 and 2. And we are giving plenty of space and respect to each other. And we get the outside line and the traction out of turn 2. And we're up into P14 again. And crucially, Agonised follows his way through. And we've got 2 cars in front of the McLaren now, as the next car on our list is VK20. And his teammate Exotic Planes is just in front of him as well. So, decent stuff here. We're not making too much progress, but the main priority is picking up these moves carefully, as the racecraft is going to be key. As one wrong move, and that's our race in the bin. So we've got to bear that in mind when we try and pass these guys on older tyres, as we're trying to set up a move on Ched through the Parabolica. We tried to get a better run there. Didn't quite work out, but we've obviously been close with him in Zandvoort in the last time we raced in AEC. We're using the overtake and the DRS. He's flashing as well, so we're going to draw alongside him on the inside line. Going into the first chicane. Can we get the move done?
Oh my god.
That's going to be a very awkward debrief after the race.
3.
Well,
Did you touch him?
that happened. You can see I didn't make any contact with Ched through the first 2 chicane, the first 2 corners, sorry, as my brain's completely freezing. But we're up into P13. Agonised again close behind us, gains a place as well. So we're making good progress as a team, as it's important for us to stick together as we try and pass these cars in front. So next up is Exotic Planes, who gets a bit out of shape through the Lesmo 2.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Sheesh.
Well, that was pretty close. We just get ahead, and we're up into P12 in this race.
That was a hairy one. Mate.
You're doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Relax.
And again, in the process of that, Agonized follows through. And that's going to be a recurring theme as we are trying to get past these cars. Now we've got this Alpine of AMS, your brand here. He's slightly dropping out of the train, and we have to pass him with immediate effect here. And it's down the back straight towards Ascari. We get that move done very, very easily. We're also seeing some pretty good pace on these hard tyres. The wings that we were using were slightly different to what we had planned, and they are working quite nicely. As we set a purple sector 2, and we've got some pretty decent straight line speed to work with as well.
The next person who can go to the end is out of the DRS train.
Sound. That's fantastic. Everyone has to pit in front of us?
Yes.
Sound. The fact that we're this close is really good.
Yeah.
And to make things even better for us, the cars that have pitted with us, they're dropping behind as they don't have DRS anymore. And as you know, DRS is crucial in league racing these days. If you don't have it, you're just going to inevitably drop further and further behind. As we momentarily set the fastest lap there at the beginning of lap number 9, but Agonize has it now. We're not going to have that for very long, I will tell you that now. By the time we get to the next lap, we don't have it anymore. But we're making progress. We're making some serious moves as AMS Knight in the sister Alpine. He's going to box off his medium tyres. And we set a 21.3 as well. So pace is feeling pretty good at this stage of the race. No warnings as well. And we're just still prioritising, picking off car after car as Red Flame's going side by side with XPG Flame, a former WRT2 teammate of ours. But hopefully we can get him out of the way, as you can hear me just saying, what are these guys doing? They're going side by side here, and they're losing touch with the cars in front of us. But we managed to get past the Ferrari before we get to the chicane, and thankfully he doesn't try and re-challenge us under the brakes. So we do seal that position. Agonize is just going to have to wait until the exit of Lesmo 2 to make the move on the Ferrari. But now it should be a clear path past Flame, and we have to wait until the end of the lap. We don't get the best run out of Lesmo 2 compared to the Red Bull on his old hard tyres. But now we're going to use the battery, and he's not fighting this at all. Very minimal resistance here, and we just blast our way through. Up into P6 we go, as there's more side-by-side action here. This time, I believe it's Quantum and TTM Santex, who's been really good in this championship so far. But these guys are really going at it. And Agonize is just behind us once again. And at this point, I was thinking we could try a bit of a risky move, as these are some of the faster guys on the grid who are yet to stop. But we don't really need to do that, as they're still going side by side with Sam and Quantum. We're going to see what we can do here, as on the exit.
Okay. That's a bit of a ghost moment.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining. Will you report us for that?
No.
We just ghost through him. Well, at least there's no contact, and I'm not complaining. Up to P4 we go in this race. So we're really storming through the field here as Quantum retreats to the pits at the end of lap 15, and you can see Sam is looking to get that place back. And in the form of defence, we're going to try and attack his teammate Placky. Going into the first chicane. Oh, we're going to get the Aston Martin on the brakes. There's a massive drift.
My God, what are you doing?
Well, a bit of a close call. We do manage to stay ahead of Sam, but Placky with a huge drift that causes us to stay behind him. But, you know, I remember replying to Shed at Zandvoort saying a cheeky drift never hurt anyone. And that almost hurt our entire race there on the end of lap 16. So Placky is going to pit now along with Tom. He was about 4 seconds up the road. But now that means we lead the Italian Grand Prix. We lead for the first time in AEC this season. And we're in a 1-2 position already with 10 laps to go, which is perfect for us.
Yeah, let's swap positions. Also a shit run.
Yeah, my man is going wide with literally no pressure.
Just go through.
Yeah, right. No penalties, nothing to the end, no pressure.
And you can hear a bit of banter between myself and Agonized
We
as
try and push it.
I make a very unforced mistake there through the
It's fine,
through the
it's fine.
parabolica corner, and Agonized letting me know
think so.
that I made a mistake with no pressure on me whatsoever. But we are in a 1-2. You can see that Bourbon Boy and Kieran were some of the cars that pitted under the early safety car, and they are a good 8 seconds behind us. So they've lost a lot of time in that traffic, and it just goes to show how efficient me and Agonized were getting through the field, as in the meantime we do get our first warning for track limits. But honestly, this is where things really become really easy for us, because
Yep.
I can tell you we don't get any more warnings. There's no 3-second penalty, and what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be swapping each
Roberts
and
2
every
lap
lap,
on
and
me,
you
so
can
it's
see
gonna be
in the
3
top right
after
corner of your
something like
screen we're taking some pretty consistent times as well. We did a 22.31 lap, a 21.9 on the last lap on lap 20, and across the line again it is another 21 as we do a 0.7 this time. But at this point in the race we've got this in the bag. It's just a matter of who wants to win this thing.
I mean, I don't really care who wins. I just want to make sure we don't muck it up.
So Harvey just telling us no mistakes and making sure we don't muck this up, because if we do,
No
we're going to
one
look
else
like a
can
bunch
face
of
the
donuts
race except that.
for the rest of the season. So, but we're going to make a big decision here on lap 26 to help our teammate.
Well, I think it's a very easy decision. You take this one, mate.
There'll still be 2 podiums and 2 races for you. So.
Exactly. Thinking about the teammate. Right, Agonized. You just use everything. I'm not going to use
You sure?
anything.
Overtake me and you let me pass the line. Do that, please. Do that.
Nah.
You sure,
Just keep going, mate. Just keep going, bro.
Now, that's me being a team player, I think, because Agonize is 4th in the championship, and he could gain big points on the championship
got
lead. Of
pushed
course,
off
the
that
drivers
was
isn't
removed.
important. The team's championship is. We're going to get a 1-2 either way, but it'll give him a big boost in his hopes to win the drivers' championship as well. And we're going to get our second podium in 2 races that we've done so far this season. As we cut to the end of lap 27, we're doing a celebratory weave on the back straight because he was pretty annoyed at Zandvoort. It's going to be pure delight for him and for us. It's going to be a 1-2 in Monza.
Well done, Agonized. Let's go, mate.
Oh my god.
Brilliant.
Timba, what did you say? Thank you, Timba.
That was beautiful teamwork. What a mate. That is
Oh my
perfect.
god.
Perfect. Well done, mate.
Very good, man. That was very good. I also thank you, Simba. Thank you, brother.
And there you go.
And you know where
The perfect teamwork. The perfect race. And it is a 1-2 for FRT in the Italian Grand Prix. Agonized wins it. We finished P2. And it's another podium in AEC for us. Obviously, you're probably wondering why I didn't take the win, but I've just explained it. You know, Agonized is going for the championship. And it's our second race of the season. So, you know, there'll be more opportunities for us across the season. As you can hear me and Agonized being very, very happy with our engineer, FRT Harvey. Big shout out to him for picking up that strategy. It was a proper 950 IQ move. And that's what really won us the race. Tom completes the podium in 3rd as the maximum result he could have gotten. And you can see that Agonized is your winner for the Italian Grand Prix. He had a bit of a problem with his wheel early on, and he still managed to win it. And we're P2, and it is a perfect result. We're all very, very happy. We've been pretty frustrated in several tournaments as well, but this one is a very sweet one. Get yourself subscribed for more team racing content on F124. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next one.